Hi guys, we're from group 3 and now we're going to expand our presentation. The topic is about gender. The member of this group is Leon, Oka, Macy, and Lintang. First, we're going to talk about the definition about gender. The word gender is come from the Latin word genus, which means kind or type. The term gender was only used in the field of grammar for a few hundred years before the 1950s. In 1955, a scientist began to use the term gender in new ways when referring to people, in ways that were similar to but not identical to their sex. And then, gender is different from sex because sex refers to the biological and physiological difference between male and female on the basis of their reproductive structure. Sex has two main categories, that is, male and female, and then sex is determined or inherited by birth. By gender, gender is more refers to the social, cultural, behavioral. Next, I'm gonna talk about gender issues. First is gender subordination, defined as subordinate to a certain gender or put a certain gender in the second place. It sometimes happens to women. The woman lacks access to resources and decisions. The example is in a poor family, they put the man first to go to school and the woman stay in the kitchen. Also, the woman considered not to be a leader or job that men do. It's also sometimes called chauvinistic men or belief that men are superior to women. The second is gender marginalization. It's a boundary between women and men. It's almost similar with gender subordination, when women are supposed to do the man's stuff and vice versa. The example is the boy cannot use a skirt. The woman have to be a housewife and men have to earn the living. The other example is access in education and also position. This position in job or education sometimes dominated by the man. Freedom of marriage. Women cannot choose to marry in their age they want. In some certain country, there's a rule to forbid the woman to travel and drive alone. The third is stereotype. The stereotype is also labeling for a certain gender, like the girl is weak, they are crybaby, emotional and fragile. The boy is strong and cannot cry. The fourth is violence. Violence can happen to girls or even boys, but mostly it happened to girls physically because girls were considered weak and often beaten and also harassed.
Gender role. What is gender role? Gender role is a social role encompassing a range of behaviors and attitudes that are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, or desirable for a person based on that person's biological or perceived sex. For example, girls and women are generally expected to dress in typically feminine ways and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing, while men are generally expected to be strong, aggressive, and bold. What is the importance of gender roles? Gender roles are cultural and personal. They determine how males and females should think, speak, dress, and interact within the context of society. How does gender role affect society? Gender role in society can create a certain expectation, and the pressure of gender stereotypes can often get ugly. Almost all the young people said that they have heard jokes or comment being made about other people, bodies, or looks. Are gender roles still relevant today? Nevertheless, in many of the modern societies today, there is no need for traditional gender roles. Both men and women are able to do many of the same necessary tasks, thereby making gender specific behaviors irrelevant. Here are some examples. As you can see, there are three pictures that I have provided. The first picture is about a woman called Najwa Shihab. You probably know her from the Mata Najwa show and Narasi. Second picture is about a man called Gordon Ramsay, one of the most famous chefs with 7 Michelin stars. Third picture is about a woman called Sophia Athanas, and she is a truck driver. From the three pictures shows that gender roles is not relevant in today's world because both men and women can have the same chance and opportunity for any profession.
Gender equality in school society. Gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. There has been progress over the last decades. More girls are going to school. Fewer girls are forced into early marriage. More women are serving in parliaments and positions of leadership, and laws are being reformed to advance gender equality, and all of this can be taught at school. But in order to gain this gender equality, first we need to make policies both in national and school policies to target school related violence, because school related violence is a pervasive issue in some countries. Violence can be psychological, or sexual. It can occur on school ground, in transit, or in cyberspace, and it may include bullying, corporal punishment, verbal and emotional abuse, intimidation, school harassment and assault, gang activity, and the presence of weapons among students. It is often perpetrated as a result of gender norms and stereotypes, and enforced by unequal power dynamic. It was estimated that globally approximately 246 million girls and boys experienced some form of school-related violence in 2014. Despite these gains, many challenges remain. Discriminatory laws and social norms remain pervasive. Women continue to be underrepresented at all levels of political leadership, and 1 in 5 women and girls between the ages of 15 and 49 report of experiencing physical or sexual violence by an intimate partner within a 12-month period.
Questions. What's the main categories of the gender? Do you agree that the wives earn the living and the men take care of the household? And why? In your opinion, do you think gender roles is relevant? What causes gender inequality in education?